Florence, the cradle of Italian Renaissance. The city is experiencing a great economic and cultural flourishing. Will your family prevail and control the city? The game is divided in 3 periods, and each period in 2 rounds. At the beginning of each round, 3 dice are rolled to determine the value of the family members of the players. Each player has a black, white, and orange family member that will get the value of the corresponding dice. The neutral member always has value 0. In turn order, each player sends a family member in one of the areas of the board. Each family member can perform an action using the value of its corresponding die. The minimum value to access an action space is depicted on the space itself. Before placing a family member, you can always spend servants to increase the family member's value by 1 for each servant spent. For the neutral member, you will always have to spend at least 1 servant. On the towers, you can acquire new development cards. Territories, characters, buildings, ventures. Pay the cost on the card. Take it and put it on your personal board. Each color has a specific section. If there is a flash symbol, activate the immediate effect. You may receive resources, points, or bonus actions. The main abilities of green and yellow cards will be activated with other action spaces that will be explained later. When you use the towers, remember that if there are family members already in the same tower where you want to place your family member, you must pay 3 coins to the supply before placing it. There can't be 2 family members of the same color in the same tower. Uncolored family members are considered to be of a neutral color. You can acquire territories only if you have enough military points, as shown on the board. To activate the harvest abilities on your green cards, use these action spaces. The first action space on the left may contain only 1 family member. The larger action space on the right may contain any number of family members, but this section gives a penalty of -3 to the member value. Harvest activates the abilities of all territories card on your personal board, but only if they have a value equal to or lower than your harvest action value. The yellow card abilities are activated with the production action spaces. They work exactly like the harvest space, activating all the yellow cards with a value equal to or lower than your production action value. Most of the times, territories give you new resources and buildings transform resources. All the resources you want to use to activate the transforming effects must already be present in your personal supply before starting the activation. When you get wood, stone, servants, or coins, take them from the reserve. When you get victory points, adjust the victory point track. When you get military points, adjust the military track. When you get faith points, adjust the faith track. Each player also has a personal bonus that activates with harvest and production. You can choose to play all with the same side, or in more advanced games, to play with asymmetric bonuses. Blue character cards give you bonuses or discounts when performing other actions. Venture purple cards give you victory points at the end of the game. At the market you can get coins, servants, military points, or 2 council privileges, which are a mix of resources you can choose from. At the council you can get 1 privilege and 1 coin. In addition, the order in which the players use the council determines the turn order for the following round. At the end of a round, when all the players have used all their family members, you change the development cards available. You roll the 3 dice again and update the turn order according to the council action space. A new round begins. At the end of each period, so after round 2, 4 and 6, there is a Vatican report phase. Check if your faith marker reached the minimum level required for the current round. There are 3 possible scenarios. If a player does not have the faith points required at the end of a period, they are not able to support the church, and they will suffer an excommunication. From now on, they will suffer some negative effects. They leave their disc on the faith point track where it is. If a player does have the faith points required at the end of a period, they can decide to support or not to support the church. If they decide not to support it, they will suffer an excommunication, as if they did not have the required level of faith points. They leave their disc on the faith track where it is. But if they decide to support the church, they must spend all their faith points to prevent themselves from receiving an excommunication. However, the players receive the victory points indicated on the step of the faith track they are currently on. Then they move their marker back to the first step of the faith track. At the end of the game, final scoring takes place. Each player gets points according to the number of green territories acquired, the number of blue cards acquired, the points indicated on the purple cards, 5 or 2 points if they are first place or second place on the military track, 1 victory point for every 5 resources of all types left. The player with the most victory points is the winner. For more advanced games, you can add the leader cards. At the beginning of the game, you will draft 4 leader cards. Each card has a requirement on top. When it is met, you can play the leader card during your turn. The ability of the leader is now active. It is either a permanent effect or a 1 per round ability that you can activate by flipping the card. You can decide to discard the leader instead of playing it to get a council privilege. You are now ready to play Lorenzo in Magnifico.